Well, I've been looking at your social media now. Natulikuwa Camp Nou.
That's right, Camp Nou.
How was that?
Home of Barcelona FC, it was incredible. We had tickets to a game on Sunday, but there have been so many protests in Barcelona, they closed it out to the fans, which was kind of sad. But the stadium tour is the next best thing. You get to see everything from the locker rooms, the dugout area, the tunnel where the players come down. That's why I say I have walked where Messi has walked.
Nice,
Life is good.
So it's still, but the locker room still smells like, like Kenyan locker rooms, eh? Yeah. Gym socks, hivi kidogo.
They still just have regular feet just like us. But it was a really good time. Okay. Welcome officially to Sports Central, your weekly fix of sports action.
Absolutely. And of course, what a show we have lined up for you. So hey, make sure you have everything you need so that you don't have to move from your TV screen. I'm your host, Mike Mondo.
And my name is Koi Kabala. Mike, what do we have in store for the show today?
Well, it is all about the highlights from the Christie Sevens. It went down over the weekend and we have all the details.
Absolutely. We also get to head down to Dagoretti area where we're going to meet a coach who is inspiring this generation of young footballers.
And then Japeth Munala is, of course, the man that we are hanging out with today on the show as he lets us know the secrets of the recent success of the Malkia strikers. All that and so much more coming up, but first, take a look.
The first 4 legs of the 7 series were very competitive. Everyone is gunning for that title.
And when we say competitive, this is what we mean. In Mombasa, you had Menengai Cream Homeboys walking away with the Driftwood Sevens. The Impala, of course, going ahead and bagging the Kabeberi Sevens. KCB went ahead and took the Prinsloo title. And of course, Kabras Sugar in Eldoret walking away with the title of Sepetuka. 4 winners in 4 series matches. I mean, how crazy is that?
Absolutely incredible. And then, of course, the Christie Sevens came knocking and it was a cracker of a tournament. Take a look at how it all went down.
With just 2 more legs left to wrapping up the 2017 National 7 Series, competing teams together with their fans took to the RFUEA grounds as the Sportpesa Quins played host to the annual Christie Sevens. The teams were in high spirits, looking to better on previous leg performances as the series was drawing closer to the end. Kabras Sugar was no different as they looked to challenge the series leaders Menengai Cream Homeboys for the title and were focused on putting up a repeated performance that saw them winning the inaugural Sepetuka Sevens. When it came to the tournament's knockout stages, the semi-finals lined up a series of exciting clashes, starting with a shorter version of the Ngong Road Rugby as the hosts Sportpesa Quins took on the Resolution Impala Saracens, and even though it was a tightly contested affair, a last-minute try by Richard Jada Sindindi was enough to grant victory and a chance for the Saracens to compete in the finals. The second semi-final set up a physical contest with top fry Nakuru RFC looking to knock out Kabras to book the remaining final slots. A 19-12 victory for the Sugarmen was enough to set up a repeat finals of the Sepetuka Sevens as Kabras looked to be the first side to register victories in 2 legs this season. A contrast in style and tactic would characterize the tournament's final as Impala looked to match the physical challenge presented by Kabras with an expansive, quick-flowing rugby. Brilliant running from Leo Seje and the Saracens the first try of the match, but this was short-lived as the Ugandan international Philip Wakorach put up an impressive sidestepping display to put Kabras on the scoreboard as Impala led 7-5 at the interval. The second half would see a fired-up Kabras side with tries from Dan Sekuta and Malik Habil, which was successfully converted by Philip Wakorach for a full-time score of 19-7 and a Christie Sevens victory for the Sugarmen.
We wanted to win the tournament. Kabras were retaining the trophy. That was number one. Number two, we wanted to close the gap on homeboys. And we've done even better than that. We've gone to the top of the series circuit, so leaderboard, which is fantastic for us. So I guess we've ticked all the boxes and a bit more.
We could have done better with the possession. We got enough possession to get a result out of this tournament. But, you know, 2 yellow cards, so discipline became an issue. But all in all, I think it was a good performance and that we got us to the final.
It's getting stronger and stronger, and at the end of the day it can only be good for the national team and the game as a whole. So I mean, it just shows that rugby is the winner, and the crowds show you that people are actually enjoying it, and the game can only get better.
This is Kabras Sugar, winners of the Christie Sevens, and we are watching Sports Central!
Welcome back. This is Sports Central, your weekly fix of sports action. Congratulations are in order for Kabras.
Yes, Kabisa, Charles Cardovillis must be a really, really happy man. But we'll wait for the leg side edition. We see who walks away with the, well, title or the bragging rights. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. And on to some football right now as we head on down to Dagoretti and get to hang out with a coach who has played a big role in determining and shaping the careers of many Kenyan footballers.
It's all about Coach Aswani, and you'll be happy to know he has trained the likes of Humphrey Mieno and Edwin Luvatsa. Let's take a look.
Amekuwa coach mpoa sana, ni kama mzazi kwangu.
Amekuwa kilimenta, amefundisha ball.
He's the one who has nurtured most of the players here in Kibera.
Kaliniambia, despite where you come from, your dreams are valid.
Jamaa anapenda talent, anapenda watu kwa community wakiprosper.
The first time I stepped in the field to play soccer, I knew I would make it in football to go into Europe. I used the football to bring those kids together. Personally, I was playing soccer. I was playing for a union, in a Kenya Premier League. And then I got a knee injury, and then I decided to be a coach. I always thank God for the guys I have nurtured. Most of them, they are playing in Kenya, others are playing abroad, like Jesewere, who is in Zambia. We have Edwin Lavasta, who is in Bandari. Eugene Msilwa, who was playing for FC Leopard. We have Samuel Weyla, who is playing Stars. We have Cheche, who is playing in SA. And then we have Humphrey Mieno, who is playing in Tusker.
I've known him since I was young, at a tender age of 10. And the experience has been so nice for us as a team and even as an individual. My most memorable moment was, there was a time we had gone to play a match in Kayole and we were 2-0 down. So he just came into where we were going for the second half. Then he told us that we can do it. There is not much that he can tell us. And after that, we went into the pitch and we had that freedom and we emerged victorious.
Amekuwa coach mpoa sana, ni kama mzazi kwangu. Kitu yote ile nafanya na look upon him. Nikilemewa mahali, yeye ndo namwangalia.
The guys I've nurtured, Even me, I believe these ones, the ones I'm training now, they will make it like them. So that's what it always motivates me when I'm training them. Say all of them, they makes me happy. But there's one of them who is David Ochieng, who is playing in USA. There's a time he was telling me when he was 10 years, coach, one day I will make it to the national team. Now he's playing for the national team. So I'm always happy with him.
Ni coach mwenye anapea wachezaji moral. Ni coach mwenye pia kiwa grao anakucorrect na mistakes zako. Nakumbuka kuna siku tulikuwa tumeenda friendly na Olimo huko Huruma. Sasa ile timu yenye tulikuwa tunacheza nayo walikuwa washatu underrate. Lakini akatuambia jamaa tu stick tu na ile ball yetu. Acha watu underrate nje, lakini tukiingia ground tuoneshe venye tunacheza. Na hiyo siku tulicheza poa, tukafunga hiyo team 3. Mimi nilifunga bao 2 hiyo siku. Kenya ni still kwetu ni watu wanaweza kujudge na appearance ya nje, lakini wewe as a person, as an individual, wewe unaonyesha quality uko nayo ukiingia kwa field.
For me nataka siku moja maybe ni mfund siku moja juu ako na watu hiyo anakusanga transport, labda kumgetia hata tuseme kama matatu, labda kuna tournament kituka 10 kilometers away, na hiyo fare ni pesa mingi, na pia maybe lunch na kwa pia kuprovide ya kids, yani akwe tu mahali ako in peace, si ati ana train watu hiyo ana lack boots, ana lack maybe materials, hivyo tu.
Tangu nikiwa toi mpaka saa hiyo tukumbusha tufocus tu na ball na shule na discipline. Ndio kitu hukumbuka kutoka kwake na kitu imeingia kwa mind yangu na mpaka sasa inani help.
With parents, I advise you to bring your kids to the academies when your kid is 5 years old. When he's 10 years old, he's going to improve. My dream is to take 1 or 3 players to Europe, and then I'd see if I can retire. Yeah.
From football onto some volleyball right now. And Koi, by the way, how about that Malkia strikers? Super team, man.
Very, very impressive. And remember, they had so many challenges getting ready for this one.
Yeah.
The training facilities weren't the best. They barely had enough time to train.
Nasikia hata walikuwa wana stima at some point.
It actually was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So hashtag tujiamini.
Maze tujiamini kabisa.
Yeah.
And they did quite the job, of course. Egypt didn't help us get into the Olympics. Actually,
Yes.
they kicked us out. Of course, the same team, Malkia, goes ahead, beats them. And look what's happening now.
Very well done, ladies. And by well done, I mean they've managed to book themselves a slot in the FIVB Championships, World Championships, by the way, in Japan.
Yes, and the Sports Central got to link up with coach Japeth Munala as the Malkia strikers were preparing for that trip to the western part of the continent. More up next.
When you are called as a coach, you must, first of all, you must have discipline, you must have what it takes, and you must work hard. I take everything seriously. I don't joke on the court, I don't joke with practice. I'm very serious in practice. I'm a senior coach. I've coached for a very long time, and I've coached several clubs. So and I've been an assistant coach to Malkia strikers, to David Lungao. We have handled the team together. We have been working together very well. So just only, and this is not the first time I'm coaching Malkia strikers. The first time I was with the Malkia strikers as a head coach. It's only went to Cameroon to qualify for Olympic qualifiers. Unfortunately, we could not qualify. We were beaten by Egypt in the semi-finals. So that gave Cameroon an advantage to beat Egypt in the finals and go for Olympics. Volleyball is very dynamic. It has a lot of practice. It has a lot of session of training. It has 7 elements. Everything must work, from service, reception, setting, attack, rebounds, backcourt. Everything must work, and everything has a session to do it, to have drills for those. If it is blocks, you must have a lot of drills for the blocking system to work. If it is reception, you have to have a lot of drills for reception to work. As in blocking, you have, so it's very dynamic. When you are called as a coach, you must, first of all, you must have discipline, you must have what it takes, and you must work hard. You must work hard to get the results. So me as a coach, when I'm called for an assignment, either in my club level, at my club level or in the national team, I take everything seriously. I don't joke on the court, I don't joke with practice. I'm very serious in practice. And what makes me succeed is that I'm able to understand players, I'm able to correct players positively, and I'm able to add skills to the players. So that's what makes me grow as a coach. In volleyball, it's not like in football. We may be rivals on the net, but after the net, we are just one thing. So when they come to national team, all what we have as club ends. Now we focus on one thing. And as Malkia strikers, they have been in the national team for a very long time. They know what it takes to play for the country. So we put everything aside and focus on one thing, one goal, to win for Kenya. Last June, we had the Zone 5 qualifiers here in Kenya, whereby we had around 4 teams. Yeah, it was a round robin. We marked the winners, so we automatically qualified for finals of Cup of Nations, together with Egypt, who are number 2. So we are going 2 teams from Zone 5 for the finals of Cup of Nations Championship. Our main weak point as a Kenyan team is reception. So I've been dwelling on that department for a very long time, and I'm happy that right now it's coming up well. Second area we're working on is the net defense, blocks, and we have, the players are coming up well also. I would like to see the Kenya volleyball growing and transition. As you coach, old players, you must have a transition. Young players must be coming in so that Kenya will not come at standstill. So that's what we do. Then as a coach, now I'm in Malkia Strike as a head coach, I would like to also to win and go for World Championship, so that in the World Championship I have to also go and do good. That will be my achievement. Kenyans, especially volleyball fans and volleyball supporters, to support us in a big way. You have all it takes to bring this team to glory and to maintain that glory for a very long time.
All the very, very best to the Malkia Strikers as they take on the rest of the world in Japan next year.
Did you know that the Kenya volleyball team, popularly known as the Malkia Strikers, have been consistently carrying the nation's flag high? The team won the 2015 FIVB World Grand Prix Group 3, which was staged in Mexico, Algeria and Australia. The Strikers now have set their eyes on next year's 2018 FIVB Volleyball Women's World Championship that will take place in Japan. Now you know. Tujiamini.
it's time for us to call it a day right here on Sports Central. If you've missed any of the episodes, have no fear. Head on to our YouTube page. The name of the channel is Sports Central Kenya. And of course, you can hit us up on the rest of our social media pages and tell us what do you want to see more of, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of the social, Kahihu Craig, I see your tweet. You're saying that Koi resembles Elaine. Yeah? Nakwambia sema kurusha mistari na.
That's my girl. It's okay. I'll take it as a compliment.
Sawa. Well, before we take our hair, we're going to leave you with our internet find of the week. Kumbuka taonana tena wiki ijayo. And until next time,
keep it Sports Central.